It's being reported that 9 billion rand of Bitcoin fraud has taken place. And this afternoon, I have the privilege to speak to Chris Creel in London. Chris, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity.
Chris, you work with RAG, Recovery Action Group, MTI, and you are investigating and making contact with all the parties who are working to try and recover the investors' funds. And you say you have advocates, solicitors, and liquidators that are in the process of taking action. Now, let's just start with the reported Bitcoin fraud the Star reported yesterday. Just give us a picture of the 9 billion rand in Bitcoin fraud, please.
Just briefly, just to clarify a point there, we are working with these people. They don't actually represent the RAG group. They're all different actions that are taking place at the moment. And we make contact with them to get to the bottom of what's going on. If we notice that a specific group is doing something which is contrary to the interest of the investors, we will actually take action. We try to make a concerted effort to get everybody to do it in a way that the recovery process is protected. That's our main objective. Sorry, the second part of your question was the value of what has been lost. Well, it's growing. Last week alone, actual value grew by 14% because it's in the form of Bitcoin. And the assets were held in the form of Bitcoin and were traded in that process. That's what we were told by MTI, that they were trading the Bitcoin asset. So basically, that is growing by the day.
Chris, we're speaking to Chris Creel, and he is in London this afternoon. Chris, what is the purpose of the Recovery Action Group?
Our purpose is to put together as many investors as we possibly can in our communications, and then to study the individual, to study what's the best course of action to recover these funds.
What are the different legal actions which are taken at the moment, Chris?
Well, the main course at the moment that seems the most sensible course is to go for a provisional liquidation and then get the judge or the master of the court to appoint liquidators so that the full investigation can take place, and then also to give MTI an opportunity to step up, because this is really important. We don't have any communication from their side, so it makes it very difficult, and we need to try to create a situation where they will come to the table and help solve this whole problem, because it's very intricate.
It must be very difficult to find the assets beneath all the fraudulent activities.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the main problem. This is primary the problem. If you have the wrong type of liquidators appointed and they go in there and this data gets destroyed, it becomes a massive problem. Not only that, you need people who know how to study the forensic process of getting hold of this, the Bitcoin and the wallets and things like that. And we have located liquidators who actually have done this process in the past, and this is very, very important.
Chris, information that are indicating that the management of MTI has willingly and fraudulently misled the public. Your take on that?
The sad thing is that these people that are involved in MTI, the top management, have past records of having done this type of thing. And that's what's come out in our investigations. We are working very closely with people who have access to this type of information, and it's scary what they've done in the past. And what's even more scary is they're busy trying to raise a new platform to do the same thing while this investigation is in process at the moment. And that's where I want to say to
Yeah.
everybody, please stay away. This is really, really dangerous.
So stay away from precisely what, Chris?
You have to make sure that when you work with trading with Bitcoin or Forex or any of these things, that the organizations you deal with are properly registered and that they're legal organizations. In this case, there are so many laws that these people have actually, the MTI group have actually uh, uh, just flaunted and not followed at all. That that's the problem. So if you don't look at, I don't want to prevent people going into investment. The main thing that we want to do is say to people, listen, guys, look at it, be very careful, do a forensic analysis of whether the organization you want to invest in is legal, has a proper background, and the people involved don't have criminal records. Because the thing is that a Ponzi scheme works. It's amazing. And what I'm really afraid of, and what we are afraid of, is that these people who've lost all of these investments of theirs are really, really desperate at the moment. There are some, the stories that we hear are absolutely terrible. But if they now get an opportunity from this group, and I talk about the people within MTI, to enter another Ponzi scheme, I am afraid that people are going to think, well, I can't do anything else. I know this works. I want to get in at the ground floor and I want to make some money. And hopefully I'll get out before I've lost the underpants I've got left.
Now, Chris, just give us an example. You referred to desperate situations, and especially this time of the year. It's been a very difficult year economically all around the world, and especially this time of the year, at the end of the year, the start of the new year. Just give us an example of a desperate situation without referring to people by name.
Uh, it is, it's unbelievable. You have people who've sold houses. You have people who withdrew pension and put their money into this. I've got a couple who are both deaf, and they've got 4 children, and the guy lost his job and he was given a payout, and he put all his money into this because he had a small investment there, and then he thought, oh, this is working, and he put his money into that, and they are now absolutely desperate. I've got somebody who put up his farm, and he doesn't know what's going to happen because obviously he's got to make payments. And then you've got people who've actually left their jobs to make this work, because while the Ponzi scheme is running, you're actually making money, but it is going to fall off the cliff. It can't keep going. Somewhere along the line, either the authorities shut it down, or it runs out of momentum because the people entering are paying for the people down the line who entered initially, and that's the problem. And it's absolutely terrible. We're going to, if we don't manage this correctly and help these people and create ways for these people to recover from this, in either mentally or psychologically, we're going to get people committing suicides. That's the next thing, because you can imagine for yourself, your whole life savings have been put in trust to these people, this MTI group, and you're sitting at Christmas and you're getting told that, what's the future? Well, there is a future. I think that's the most important thing. If this is handled correctly by the liquidators and the solicitors and all these other people, there is a possibility to recover a large portion, if not all of the funds, because we must also remember it's Bitcoin, and last week it grew 14%. So if we can recover the base funds, or a large portion of it, by the time we actually get to the payout, we might have sufficient growth that we can actually repay the investment.
Chris, just to end off, your intentions, what is the group's intention?
We want to stand for the investors. We're all investors. We're all people who, in one way or the other, put money into the system, into the MTI system. Our whole objective is to try to help and to filter the truth from all the social media misinformation that is out there. And we don't have a specific objective in the sense that, you know, we want to go out there and we want to throw every bit of the law at these people and make them suffer, and the MTI group make them suffer and have a hard time. We want to, our first objective would be for them to come to us. Our first objective would be for them to come back to us and say, okay guys, here's the investment we've got, let's put that into a pot, let's resolve this thing. So we're calling to the MTI guys, come on, work with us, let us help all these people who've trusted you. Because you remember, the investor who knows what he's doing is going to do it in a way that he's going to do the forensic analysis. He's not going to get caught in this trap. It's not a big win for him, because he's got to know what's going on. And that's really how these guys were good. They fooled some of the best investors that I know, and they pulled in a lot of people. So they're not stupid in what they're doing. So, but the investor who for the first time sees an opportunity and his friend comes to him, because that's what our Ponzi scheme works. It's his friend coming to him. It's his father. It's his uncle. Says, look, I'm making money. Look, I'm making money. And then all of a sudden you, as an individual, think, oh, I can make some money as well. You're not wise to how these things work. And you chuck your money in there, and you might, it depends where you are on the wave. And we go back to Andre Neuvoud and Ollie Stinkmelk. That was all over South Africa when that lot fell apart.
Chris Creel, all the way from London. Thank you so much for taking time speaking to us at Radio Pulpit and Radio K Pulpit. May the Lord God Almighty bless you with your work, Recovery Action Group, and your objective to investigate and make contact with all parties while working to try and recover the investors' funds. And may the Lord God Almighty just bless you and have a blessed 2021.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And please contact us, and let's see what we can do, and let's work together as a group.
Chris, and where can they make contact with you?
We have a website. It's probably the best place to go about it. It's called getaquid, QUID, which is the abbreviation for £1.com. And there's places there where they can fill in, tell us about their stories, give us information. We've got people who are sifting through all the information we've got. We had nearly 44,000 hits on our website yesterday. And we've probably got around about, I would say, 30 to 50,000 investors already investing in this collaboration of ours.
Chris, just give us that website again, please.
It's GETA quid, QUID.com.
Chris, thank you.
Getaquid is one word.
Getaquid.com. Getaquid.com. Chris Creel, thank you so much, sir. Have a blessed 2021.
Thank you.